What's going on, guys? It's Kevin here from Tranquilityscapes. Today we have a massive 50 by 60 pond. We're working alongside with Alter Ecosystems, Ed Drohan. You may have seen him in a previous video of ours, but right behind me we are going to be building an amazing pond, so stay tuned. So right now we have the pond completely demoed. Ed has been here with his guys a few days early, just getting everything ready. You can see over here we have pallets of the old liner and then old boulders that came out of the pond. We're also removing a lot of landscaping. I don't have a before picture, but we've been here before. This was all covered in weeds. We had like 3 to 4 foot tall weeds around a pond that was just straight lily pads. So the water quality in here was suboptimal. So what we're going to be doing is we demoed the whole pond. Well, Ed and his guys demoed the whole pond. Right over there, we're going to be doing a wetland filter, a small little waterfall. We're going to be pulling out the pond a little bit. They already kind of did. But this pond is going to be 50 by 60, and we're going to be going about 4 feet deep in this. But the homeowner has invested a lot in this home, and this has been a huge eyesore, so we're going to get that taken care of for them. I mean, you can see this property is beautiful. They have a basketball court, built-in trampoline sets. They have an amazing pool and pool house down there. But right over here, this is going to be an amazing pond now. You guys stay tuned. We're going to be working on this project for the next 5 days here. I don't think we're going to get to see it finished, but we're going to be coming back in the future to show you how this pond turned out. So right now we have most of the hole excavated right at the bottom where the payloader is. That's 4 feet deep. Right now we put a ramp in because we have to get this tree out of the existing pond because our wetland is going to be going right in that back corner. So after a full day of digging, we have this pond completely excavated, and we finally were able to get this liner in. We have a 50 by 100 liner in here, and then we're going to be adding another 20 by 100 for the wetland. We're going to be cutting sections of that. But right now the guys are getting the fabric in, and then we're going to be getting to rocking in this pond. So right here is that 50 by 100 liner. Our intake base is going to be going in right here. Even though we have this large machine, we do still have to ramp in to this section of the pond so we can reach that back wall. We'll probably have to pull this back a little further to get a bigger ramp in, but the idea is to set some clusters of some big rock at the bottom, and then using some existing stone, we're going to be doing some slate work at the bottom as well as some smaller boulders to give the bottom a lot of shape. Right in that back section is where the wetland filter is going to be going. We're going to be doing a smaller wetland on this pond, and that is going to be the filter for this whole 50x60 pond. Once these guys get all the fabric in, we're gonna be setting a bunch of these smaller boulders at the bottom as well as that old existing slate work. And then we're gonna get some larger boulders that we have outside over here. These larger boulders are what the top of the pond's gonna consist of. So these are some really nice Pennsylvania fieldstone boulders. And we're gonna be using this as basically more of a coping stone on top, just to give it better visuals while using the smaller existing boulders at the bottom of this pond. There's some of the existing lily pads that were in this existing pond. You can see these lilies have some massive root structure. They've been in this pond for so long. The old pond was so nutrient dense. These lilies completely took over the existing pond. So they culled a lot of this back, and then they're gonna be using some of these old lilies to go back into this new pond. So I'm gonna go help the guys load up all that rock into that bucket of that machine right back there. And we're gonna be dropping that in the pond. And then we're gonna get the rock in the rest of the pond. By the end of the day, we're hoping to get the whole bottom rocked in and then start working on the top section actually. That way by Friday, that whole pond's rocked in. Saturday, we can do the wetland and then almost fire this thing up. And just like that, it is 2 days later and it's raining. We're just finishing off day 5 of this project. Day 7 for Ed and his team, but we got a lot accomplished. I'm gonna show you guys where we're at right now. So we have a couple piles of fill dirt. We're gonna be bringing in more fill dirt in a little bit. Unfortunately for me and Rob, it's our last day. Rob's right there cleaning up. It is just us two right now, but look at this pond. We were able to finish the wetland off today with the waterfalls, everything like that. The waterfalls we had Ed's help yesterday to build, and then we wrapped up the wetland. But this pond is massive. I was rinsing down the bottom and it takes a while to even get a little puddle in there. Ed and his team have to come back Monday to wrap off this edge, do some edging, do some detail work, and fire this thing up. What a massive undertaking this is to complete a pond this big in just about 7-8 working days. More impressive is that this was an existing pond. I wish I was able to show you guys what it looked like, but all these stacked slate walls that look really amazing in my opinion. Those were all recycled from the old pond, as well as all those boulders on the backside. I mean, Ed probably only brought in 20 tons of boulders, and with his design and his strategic planning, we were able to accomplish all of this. Reusing all the old material, making sure nothing goes to waste. If you guys don't follow Ed Drohan, or known as Alter Ecosystems, I would definitely give him a follow on Facebook. He does some amazing work. Unfortunately for us, we're gonna be going home soon, so we're not gonna be able to see this thing run. We'll be back in 2 weeks to help Ed with another project, and then we'll fire that waterfall up for you guys. Well, it's been a few weeks. We are back on this property to check out this job. Ed and his guys were able to finish up the detail work that was left on this pond. We just got here and this pond's looking amazing. So you can see the water has completely cleared up. They've replanted some lilies in here, and then we have these large destination boulders that cantilever a good 1 to 2 feet over the pond. You can see the water right down there actually. We have our intake bay over there, and we've moved a couple of those trees, like the junipers, the maples, and everything like that. That got transplanted around the whole project. So this was a really fun project just because of the situation, the scenario we were in. All the boulders you see in here were actually recycled. So we repurposed every single stone in the old existing pond, as well as the slate walls that you can kind of see on the backside. At nighttime, this thing is nicely illuminated with the accent lights on the walls. And then we also were able to add a wetland filter. The old pond just had a biofilter, not enough filtration. The water was super murky. You couldn't see the bottom. I mean, this thing is just about 4 feet deep, and I could see every single piece of pebble down there. Walking around to this top section, we could see that this is what's keeping this pond super filtered. This is our wetland filter. We made it look like more of a stream riverine system where the water comes out over here and then cascades into the pond. But from this top section, you can kind of see the scale of this pond. It's a 50 by 60 pond. I wish I could take out the drone today to show you guys an aerial view of what this pond looks like and to kind of put it to scale. But unfortunately, there is an airport right behind us and we're not able to fly the drone over here. So, like always, I'm gonna give you guys some final shots of this pond. And always a thank you to Ed Drohan from Alter Ecosystems for having us out, help build this pond. And I'll see you guys in the next one.